Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual trainer here. I mean, casual duelist here. Sorry, wrong channel. Different stuff. Um, so casual duelist here, and today I wanted to give you guys a look at a pure build for the Magikeys. And again, this is after Burst of Destiny. So I think this deck is actually a little better supported now. And without getting into the things that we could do to actually make this deck more competitive, I wanted to take a look at a semi-casual version. And I know you guys are going to see Ash Blossom and go, well, that's no longer casual, but it kind of is. Again, I'm going to always defend my use of Ash Blossom because of the Dual Devastator sets and the Salamangreat deck. I feel like those were two very easy to obtain, very reasonable reprints at the time. And I shouldn't have to tiptoe around because of it. Honestly, though, you could always add Effect Veilers in those spots or play other cards of your choosing. Today I've got a 41 card deck, and I'm going to tell you the 41st card can be taken out or just entirely changed to fit your own style. And again, feel free to change anything about the deck that you guys like. This should only ever be a guideline. That's enough of that. Let's get you guys a deck list. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to play 3 copies of Clavikeys, the Magikey Sky Blaster. Now, he's pretty cool, kind of needed. We're going to have 3 copies of both the Magikey Mech Mortar Garrus Glasser, as well as Batos Blaster. And again, it's really cool because when this deck initially popped off, it was play Ritual, play Fusion. And now we get more than that. To help add to the deck's plays, we're going to use the Magnificent Magikey Mafteo. Awesome card. Going into some normal cards to help us get our effects by increasing the pool of attributes that we have. I did like the light attribute being represented, so I did pull in some Alexandrite Dragons. And again, since Salamangreats are still kind of a thing, especially on casual tables, the Gunkan Suship Shari. This will allow us to keep our power base at about the 2k standing without really sacrificing anything. To round out the rest of our monsters, just those 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Because again, if I have to prioritize a hand trap, it's going to be that one. Now real quick, pause the screen if you guys need to write down what you see. If not, we'll continue. So moving into the spells. And again, I don't have too many spells in here. I do feel like this deck was a little more monster heavy than I initially wanted. I am going to be running 3 copies of Magikey Battle. Let's kind of bring that down just a little further. Good card, great card. You are going to need to maximize your copies of Magikey Mafte. So I would just go ahead and play that at 3 as well. 3 copies of Magikey World. And then I run a single Monster Reborn and a single Terraforming. Again, guys, this is a good position for you guys to pick whatever you want. If you don't want the Monster Reborn, maybe play the Magikey. If you have access to Lightning Storm, put in a Lightning Storm. I do think the Terraforming is necessary because I do think that you need to prioritize playing the Magikey World. The rest of your play really comes from whether or not you guys want to use the traps. So again, pause the screen if you guys need to jot down any notes. If not, we're just going to go ahead and continue here real quick. And when it comes to those traps, obvious things are obvious. Like, I am going to be running 2 copies of Impermanence. I could have made this 3. This is not yet the card that you guys can swap out, but this is like a good interruption. And again, we got this in the last structure deck, so it's not so much a high price point anymore. I was running 3 copies of Duo. Now, Duo can change. I do like it. It is like having extra copies of the Mafte. The card I'm talking about in my 41st slot is Magikey Locking. I did have a problem resolving this during playtest. It doesn't come up as often as I would have liked it to. I did contemplate just throwing like an instant fusion in here. But honestly, it plays better if I do toss it. But this is the deck I playtested, so I'm just giving it to you guys straight. And then the last one is the in-house counter trap. That'd be Magikey Unlocking. Actually very good. So one thing you could do if you just want to switch this out, you could change the duos to take it to like 2 strikes, make a 3rd impermanence, take out locking to drop the deck down to 40, and then keep the unlockings and kind of play more of a counter control variant. So that's that. Again, take a second if you guys need to, and then we'll go ahead and get into our extra deck. Now, the ratios in the extra deck are actually pretty easy to get a hold of. So the first one I want to do is I want to use Androbeam or Androbeam. I'm not exactly sure which way is the proper pronunciation, so if you guys can hit me up with the phonetics down there in the comment section, that'd be amazing. But I do value this card at 3, and it's very cool. The other fusion monster we're going to use is the Magikey Beast Ancialabolus, or Alphabet Soup as I like to call him, because I just keep getting tongue-tied with him. And he's the reason for the possibility of using the instant fusion, because he is a level 4 fusion. He does not have any ability that says he can't be played that way. And if we're being just honest, he's also a tuner, which also gets you some more plays. So it's okay. You guys could do it. I chose not to. If you do, bump him up to 3. It's totally fine. Then we're going to use the new Synchro monster, the Magikey Fiend Transferal Mine. And I'm pretty sure I got that one right. Again, 2. 2 is what I had. If you like him better, you can run him at 3. There are enough tuners, but for consistency and liking to have other things in my extra deck, I just went with the 2. 3 copies of Magikey Spirit Vipartu, probably the easiest one to pronounce out of the whole lot. Just a quick rank 4. And again, even though you could generate 4-star or multiple 4-star characters in a turn, this deck would be actually very inappropriate to try to play Utopia in. So again, if you don't like this guy as much, or maybe you didn't pull as many, 2 is still a good ratio. But I wouldn't want to see him at less than 2, at least for now. Maybe we'll get some more cards later on down the road. Maybe it'll help us. Last 5 cards are going to be links. So we are going to use Apollosa, the Bow of the Goddess. We are going to use Cross Sheep because, again, we are playing like every version of a card that Cross Sheep gets an effect for. We are going to tech in the 1 IP Masquerena, the 1 Phoenix, and, of course, the 1 Unicorn. So I think the extra deck is just basic utilities and then playing into the archetype. A lot of this deck is me just playing into the archetype. Are there other things we could do to make this more competitive? Yeah, absolutely. You guys could add dinosaurs if you wanted to. You could play Rescue Rabbits. You could have Dolka and Logia in here. You guys could be using Sabersaurus, Cabazals, and I want to say 2-headed King Rex. In order to make those rank 4s, it'd all be normal. You could throw in the Rescue Rabbits. I may have already said that. This deck can be increased with Unexpected Die. There are a ton of things you guys could do to make this deck better. But again, the name's casual. I wanted to keep this one casual. Just have some fun with it and then come back with it once I have a build I like as far as one of the tech builds. So I do want to thank you guys for coming by to watch the deck list today. And again, if you guys want the recap on what the cards do, stick around. If you don't, and this is what you came for, again, thanks for stopping by. It means a whole lot. And if you'd like to support the channel because you enjoy this stuff, the simplest, easiest, and most cost-effective thing for you to do is just hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing but your time, and it helps, me decide whether or not I'm building my decks properly, and, that kind of stuff. But seriously, go have a great day, and we'll see you guys next time. Everybody else, let's just go ahead, pick up our cards. Not going to do a transition edit this time. And let's talk about the deck. So first off, they do get some effects, again, if you're using more than 1 attribute. The attributes are sort of necessary. This guy's in here not just because he's a vanilla monster that's a dark attribute, but because he is a Magikey card. The text is kind of irrelevant. He is 19 by 19, so he's still pretty basic. And if you did want to pull him faster, you could always put in a reinforcement of the army. I don't find that as necessary, but I do run him at 3. Of the 2 rituals, the first one in alphabetics will be the Mech Mortar. So you can ritual summon this with the Mafte. Gains 300 attack for each different attribute in the graveyard. Now, this is a generalized, like 1800. they can be 2100 because the divine attribute exists due to the ancient Egyptian god cards. Not that you're going to play a god card in this deck, but if you were, you could side into something like the Sphere mode of Raw and just kind of use it as a Kaiju-esque type play. That would be something. You can use each of the following effects once per turn when the opponent activates an effect of a monster that has an attribute matching one of your monsters in the graveyard, and this card was made of monster of at least 2 different attributes. Then you can negate the activation of that card's effect and then destroy it. So the long way of saying that is, opponent uses dark monster. I used a dark and a light to go into this. I have 2 attributes. I can stop the effect and destroy the opponent's card. Also, if this ritual summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Magikey monster from your deck to your hand. And again, this does help out because, again, you could just replace it with another ritual monster. You could go after the new Magikey, whatever you like. Going into Bados Blaster, he's going to be one of our 4 stars. He's also going to be a tuner on top of being a ritual monster. You can ritual summon him again using Magikey. If it is ritual summoned, you can add 1 Magikey card from deck to hand. Very important because it does not specify spell, trap, or monster. You can only use this effect once per turn. Once per turn when an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's monster that matches an attribute of a normal monster or Magikey monster in your graveyard, then you can place any number of cards from the hand to the bottom of your deck. If you do, negate the effects of the opponent's monster until the end of the turn, then draw the same number of cards you placed. So real quick, it's like a battle phase effect veiler. And it could be when your opponent's monster attacks this, or when Bados Blaster attacks your opponent's card. Again, either way, the opponent's monster does have to match an attribute, which is why we tried to pack in so many different attributes into the deck. And again, it can refresh your hand, and this is actually very useful. But so again, 3. The Magikey, Fiend Tuner 4-star. Now this guy really helps out with a lot of the combos. Cannot be used as material for Synchro or Xyz except for that of a Magikey monster. If you control a Magikey, you can reveal this to normal summon 1 Magikey during the main phase in addition to the normal summoner set. Additionally, when this card is normal summoned, you can target a level 4 or lower normal monster or a level 4 or lower Magikey in the graveyard, special summon it back in defense using this effect once per turn. So again, since we're using a bunch of 4 stars, we can either go into our Xyz or our Synchro off this, and it'll also allow us to link climb. So the key word here is up to 3, because if 1 exists, then he can extend, and if he extends, we can bring something back. So again, that can build us up to a link 3 right off the rip. Very cool. And then again, Alexandrite Dragon and Gunkan Suship Shari, just here for the light and fire attributes. Nothing else. They are 2K attackers. And again, this makes me feel like I'm playing old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Where just the only thing that mattered was maximum output with minimal input. And then again, Ash Blossom, because again, if you guys are going to run a hand trap, you guys might as well run the hand trap that hits the most amount of decks generically. And again, this is going to be Ash Blossom. Every deck tutors. A lot of decks want to summon from the deck. And there's still a lot of people that need to play Foolish Burial in order to get off their combo. So, Ash Blossom for the win, right? I understand if this isn't a budget option for you, but understand it is for me. The Magikey Battle Quick Play. This is another unnecessarily worded card. So, target a normal monster, 1 Magikey monster, or 1 Magikey Magikey in the graveyard. You get to shuffle that card back into the deck. Then, if you activated this in response to an opponent's card or effect activation, normal monsters and Magikey monsters you control, except tokens, are now unaffected by that card's effect. So, like, let's just say your opponent plays Lightning Storm and they go to break your monster board. You play Magikey Battle, do the thing, send your Fusion Ritual spell back into the deck, and then you just go ahead and you're just immune. Like, my monsters can't be destroyed by that. So again, it's very useful. And for more than just that one instance, there's actually a ton of instances where this is going to come in handy, and you guys are going to love it. Now, the Magikey itself was kind of tricky to get a hold of. Luckily, I did get this the first week this was available. Fusion summon a Magikey fusion monster from the extra deck using cards from hand and field as material, or ritual summon a Magikey ritual from the hand by attributing from hand and field levels that equal or exceed. If you control a normal monster when you activate this, you may also send one normal monster from the deck to the graveyard as material or tribute. So, if we control a normal monster, like Magikey, we can send a different normal monster from our deck. Oh, that's not a normal monster at all. Like the Sue Ship Shari. So, if you're going to play the 4-star, the Batos Blaster, Batos Blaster can be played for free as long as you have a 4-star on the field. And if you want it at half price, you can then play the Garrus Glasser this way as well. And since you are able to use one of the cards from your deck at your pick and choose, it's way better for the Garrus Glasser because you don't have to worry about what was actually in your hand. So amazing card. The field spell, when activated, you can add a Magikey monster from your deck to your hand. The first time each non-token normal monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect each turn it is not. During the main phase, you can add one Magikey Magikey from the deck to the hand. If you do, then place one card from the hand to the bottom of the deck. Each effect once per turn, and only activate one of these per turn. And I mean, I get it. It's powerful. Again, the Monster Reborn, generic extender, terraforming. I really appreciate having the field spell fast. Impermanence, great for turn 0 hand trap. Also good any other time. Duo is, like I said, the trap version of the Magikey. And you guys could totally swap this thing out. You can target a normal monster or Magikey in the graveyard, add it to your hand, and apply one of the following effects. Either fusion summon a Magikey monster or ritual summon a Magikey monster. Again, tributing monsters from hand and field equal or exceeding level, or using the cards from hand and field as fusion material. So again, as long as we get this set, we can do this. Since it is a trap, we can do this during the opponent's turn as well. So again, kind of cool. This is the reason I did include it. Again, with locking allows us to do the synchro and the exes. We tribute a normal monster or Magikey monster, then target up to 2 normal or Magikeys in the graveyard, whose total levels equal 8 or less. Special summon them in defense, then apply one of the following effects immediately. Synchro summon using Synchro summon a Magikey synchro monster using cards you control, or Exes summon a Magikey that you control. I'm going to try that again. Exes summon one Magikey Exes monster using monsters you control. So again, I wanted to try this. It didn't come up as often as playing the duo, and it was honestly less effective overall. So unless you got a weird strategy going on, I would maybe drop this one, unless of course you like it, like I did. But again, you guys could drop an instant fusion in there, or you could drop it all together. Add in the 3 unlockings. When your opponent activates a spell trap while you control a Magikey ritual or Magikey from the extra deck, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy the card. Then you can declare one attribute. If you do that for the rest of this turn, all face-up monsters your opponent controls become that attribute. You can only activate 1 per turn. It's a good card, great card. Could pair off very well with Super Polymerization and using Starving Venom Dragon. So that's pretty cool. But it's also just another good generic counter trap. Going into the extra deck real quick, I'm not going to waste too much time. I'm just basically going to explain the Magikeys. This is a Magikey effect plus any normal. When fusion summoned, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects, so it's pretty much unrespondable. Once per turn, you target 1 normal or Magikey in the graveyard. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls with that attribute. So again, if we just did our unlocking and we choose Dark, and Magikey happens to be in there, we get to kill all our opponent's Dark cards, and this is where we're going to get the Wind attribute for the deck. Additionally, once per turn, if an opponent's monster with the same attribute as monster in the graveyard is destroyed by battle or card effect, if this was fusion summoned using at least 2 different attributes, draw 1 card. And it's an optional draw, so again, if you were down to like no cards, you could choose not to activate it and not lose immediately. Again, I value this guy at 3. Anciolabolus at 2, Magikey monster plus normal monster. When fusion summoned, you can add 1 Maftay from graveyard to hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. Once per turn, you can target 1 attack position your opponent controls with the same attribute as 1 normal or Magikey in your graveyard. Change it to defense, and if you do, take 1,000 defense off of it. It is not till the end of the turn. And then also banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. So again, very strong play, but based on the way I wanted the rest of the extra deck to go, and the fact that I wasn't using an instant fusion, I went with 2. Transferal Mine is going to be an 8. He's a Thunder. He's also going to be Fire. Magikey Tuner, which we have 3 of, between Battles Blaster, Maftiel, and of course our Beast. Again, this can make up to 2 attacks on monsters every battle phase. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If you control this card that was Synchro Summon using at least 2 attributes, you can set 1 Magikey spell trap directly from the deck to your spell trap zone. Your opponent cannot normal summon or special summon monsters with the same attribute as a monster in the graveyard, except during the damage step. You can destroy that monster. So if the opponent plays something that you already have 1 of the same attribute in the graveyard, you can pop it. So you get some selective destruction, you get some setup, and you get that every turn. Very cool. Vipartu, good for control. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can detach material. Add 1 level 4 or higher normal from deck or grave, to the hand. If this has a normal monster as material, it gains the following effect. So again, I'm already thinking that we could use this in other decks as long as they're vanilla. The effect here, at the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster with the same attribute as a normal monster or Magikey already in the graveyard, detach material from this, the opponent must send that card to the graveyard. So again, I'm pretty sure that's non-targeting, sending, not even destroying. So again, place them at 3. And when it comes to the links, Apolos is here to get the effects. Cross Sheep actually gets all 4 effects in this deck, making it an all-star. IP Masquerena for its reasons. Phoenix and Unicorn for the usual. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed this today. This is going to be my pure Magikey build again. For now, I do plan on revisiting this one more time. There's at least one more build I'd like to do, and I want to make it as fast and competitive as possible. I don't quite have it there yet. So again, thank you everybody for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I do hope that you guys all have a great day, and I hope to see you guys on the next video. Later, friends.